Now, I've never considered myself one of those conspiracy theorists. You know, the folks with the tinfoil hats running around saying the sky's falling, JFK was assassinated, and aliens live among us. Who knows? Maybe those things are true. I never really thought much about them. However, in the last couple of years, as I've been paying attention, and especially the last year or so, and watching corporate media operate, I can't help begin to think that maybe some of those things are there and maybe there is some conspiracies happening. Case in point, I'm going to give you a little thought exercise here. About a couple of weeks ago, Project Veritas came out with some startling revelations. They got a high-level Pfizer executive, Jordan Tristan Walker, on camera admitting a bunch of things that weren't very flattering to Pfizer and how Pfizer does business. Now, what happened was about a week ago, not this Friday, the Friday before, Pfizer finally responded and issued a press release. It was kind of blasé. They didn't really deny anything. However, it was a press release. But that press release got overshadowed. What did it get overshadowed by? Well, two other major stories that came out. There was video footage of Tyree Nichols. He was a black man beaten to death sadly, by 5 black police officers. That incident happened in early January, but the video finally got released last Friday. And there was the Paul Pelosi body cam video, which finally released as well, even though the incident happened quite some time ago. What did those things do? Well, they overshadowed the press release, so nobody was really talking about it, and it kind of muted the Project Veritas story. Well, fast forward, on February 2nd, Project Veritas dropped another video, but there was another story that overshadowed that. What was that? The Chinese spy balloon. That's right. Same day that story hit mainstream media coverage, even though, let's walk through the timeline of the Chinese spy balloon. This balloon was first sighted over Alaska on January 28th. That is the Saturday before. But it never really got much coverage. It kind of meandered along. Nobody seemed to really pay a lot of attention until, surprisingly, on February 2nd, coincidentally, same day, Project Veritas drops another video with Jordan Tristan Walker, now commenting on women's menstrual cycles and how the pharmaceutical intervention that Pfizer created may have some implications on it. That video, again, would be overshadowed. That story would have been overshadowed by the Chinese spy balloon, which inevitably lasted in the news cycle till about yesterday when it was finally shot down, which achieved what goal? Well, it took a few other stories out of the headlines, namely, like I said, the Project Veritas story. It also took the story about Hunter Biden's laptop out of the mainstream media, also with Joe Biden's documents that were found, those documents he shouldn't have. So it kind of overshadowed a bunch of things. So it accomplished a few goals. Now, you would think that if this thing was truly a threat, this Chinese spy balloon, the military, the US military, would have shot it down long ago. Why did they let it meander so long? Why did it serve someone's purpose? I don't know. But the sad part is that in the time we live in, given everything that's happened over the last few years, there is a deep mistrust of government, all things that are the deep state or bureaucracy, however you want to label it. So citizens do ask some questions and they say, wow, there's a lot of funny coinkydinks. That timing just seems to happen this way. That essentially 2 weeks in a row, major Project Veritas stories got overshadowed by other stories that could have been either reported on much sooner, or it seemed like strategically the stories were released at certain times to have a certain effect. Hey, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just reading too much into the tea leaves. Maybe I just have a little too much mistrust of how things happen these days. But please share your thoughts and comments on those as well. I would welcome that, because that's the only way we're going to know that, what we're seeing out there is real and everything is as we think it should be or ought to be. And it also shows those folks that are in charge that maybe we are paying attention and we're finally waking up to the reality that there are people who orchestrate certain events in certain ways to get certain outcomes. That's called manipulation. And it seems to be something that's happened and been with us since the beginning of time, because our human nature is always to gain what it is we're after, because our hearts are greedy, selfish, and manipulative. That's just the reality of who we are as people. And, some people, it's a little more dominant in them than others. Anyway, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. Please post any comments you have in the comment section. You can also follow me on my Rumble, on my Locals account. If you're on my Rumble channel, please subscribe to it, because occasionally YouTube will shoot me down and for saying what I have to say and then say, hey, no flying zone, or I'm in a no fly, no post zone. Anyway, like I said, see you next time and take care.